We had Brother Joe on the line. I literally was just going to you, Joe, so please call back.
Joseph.
Well, no, he just hung up. I literally was going to the phones to talk to Anthony's brother. Why don't we do this? We'll take a break. Hopefully Brother Joe will call back. We'll get him on immediately. Oh, Brother Joe called back. Okay. Joe.
Hey, gentlemen.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I was just texting you. I was on hold.
Yeah, I apologize.
It was longer than it took me to drop the OJ tape off.
I know. I'm sorry.
No worries, man.
We don't even know what the fuck. We're just trying to go with this thing. So
believe me, man. Me too. I mean, it's strange, to say the least. I wanted to start off by saying to listeners. And just addressing the issues that any of them may have with you guys,
right?
That is absolutely wrong. It's not. You guys are to be held blameless and faultless. I mean, you had absolutely zero to do with with the predicament that you're in. The other thing I wanted to say was I wanted to thank you personally for making Anthony's life what it is now. And, excuse me, I was driving all night. And as well, me being able to do what I do for a living, because without meeting you, it wouldn't happen. Either way. I mean, for either one of us.
Well, I mean, in turn, obviously meeting you guys made my life way better too, so.
Well, that being said, the issue with, why XM did what they did, Sirius XM did what they did with my brother. I'm very curious, and I don't know if you guys are going to be allowed to divulge any of this information, but I'm sure a lot of the listeners would love to know if there were any special interest groups, any sponsors threatening to pull out, any people in particular that called in and said, or contacted Scott via email. Or any other means, looking to have Ansett served up on a platter. That's my issue.
It's a great point / question, and of course, if we knew, we would tell you. I have no idea is my answer, and that is the truth. I know they got nervous. What was told to me, and I've said a couple times already this morning, what made them nervous was the violence that was associated with the tweets. And like I said, I don't agree with that, but that's what was told to me. That was the ultimate reason why they fired him.
Well, addressing that, that reason, I think it's pretty ridiculous when they talk about violence in a sentence, in written word, on virtual paper, when an actual act of violence occurred in Times Square. He was pissed, man.
Yeah, of course. We all say crazy things when we're pissed off.
And how many times he said, I could fucking kill that guy.
Right.
Or I could, I wish that guy would have his face smashed into the fucking ground. I mean, it's the way Anthony reacts to things. It's the way I react to things, too. But I don't think I remember once him taking a poke at anybody. We've never, as brothers, fought each other physically, which is not that way. We defend ourselves, when you have to, but it's just, it was never that way. So, again, that being said, to me, it just seemed an unfair thing for the company to do.
Yeah, let me say this too. Has anyone ever seen Ant be racist one-on-one to anybody?
No.
I've never seen that in my life. It's always in the macro sense,
right.
But when we're out with listeners and stuff, I've never been across a thing where you're like, wow, he's being antisocial.
No, he's not. He's not. Honestly, I mean, it almost sounds like a joke hearing him go off on the air, saying some of the things that he does on the air. It almost sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but he is seriously the furthest thing from what you would call a textbook racist. I mean, somebody that would, that hates a particular type of person for their skin color or their, or being who they are.
Right.
I know. I mean, obviously, I've known the guy for 53 years, man. And I know him inside out. I know how he thinks. He takes statistics. He takes data. And he takes fact, and he argues those points fiercely. And if you call him out on it, he'll have an answer for you every time.
Right.
He's not acting out of emotion when it comes to his slightly right leaning viewpoints. It's not a matter of him, just him. As an
he's more blunt and he's more straight than the Drudge Report. All these same kind of things come up.
Right.
If you go to the Drudge Report any day, those statistics come up, and Am puts them out there, and some people disagree or whatever, and those are things to talk about. But I do think that overall, if someone said to me, have you ever seen Anthony do anything racist? That's insane to me. Right. This is what got crazy. This is what got me furious about the stuff that I was reading, is they act like Ants did a racist act for fucking 20 years.
Yeah,
it's just not true.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what a majority of the people that reading that shit believe. Yeah.
And the sad part is all the people that were in an uproar over Anthony's tweets they're long gone now, and now what's left is the hardcore audience that has to suffer.
Yeah, they were all outsiders,
complete outsiders that would never listen to our show. Never. We probably lost a very, very small percentage of people over Anthony's tweets, possibly.
If any,
possibly. And like I said, very small. I mean, at the most.
And the people that were bloggers and the papers that picked up on it, they really do mean absolutely nothing to the company.
Right.
It just does not. It does not compute, man. It doesn't make any sense. If it were the Catholic Church getting behind, does that sound familiar? If it was the Catholic Church getting behind, or going to the company and saying, hey, listen, they did this, we want them gone. I could see NAACP, whoever, Reverend Al shows up at the doorstep and says, hey, Scott, I think this boy should be gone. I mean, anyone.
I know of no one. Joe, I get your point. I know of no one that has stepped forward in that way. I know of no one. But then again, we're kind of in the dark here a bit.
I understand. And that was my point.
How's Anthony doing? From your point of view.
He's doing great.
I know. It drives me nuts. I'm like,
we're pretty pumped, man. I'm getting with Drew on some music, and we're doing it upright. You guys are going to be proud.
Awesome.
And I, obviously, man, I wish you guys nothing but the best. And I can say this. I can definitely say that down the road, you guys are going to cross paths again in a big way, probably much bigger than anything you could ever have imagined up to this point. And I say that with complete honesty and candor. You guys are you'll get back together. Things will happen big. I mean, huge big.
I mean, that's what Led Zeppelin said.
I mean, beyond Howard.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing.
Led Zeppelin said the same thing back in 1981, 82. And they almost did it. They almost did. What do they do? One show?
The people in bands are assholes.
But you see, the thing is, they're still getting the lead out every single night. It's still there.
Right.
The money is still on the table.
I know, Joe, that he's very excited to do this thing alone for now. I mean, I have no doubt that's what he's thinking.
And
there's an excitement to that.
Let me tell you something else. Though. Let me put this into the mix. If you guys had said today that you wanted to join him, he would, in a heartbeat, say, "Yeah, come on, let's go."
Right.
He would say, "Come on, let's go."
Right.
I might be here for the announcement.
That's my gut feeling.
Right.
He would, he's very excited about doing something new and fresh. I mean, not to say that, nothing derogatory.
No, we know what you mean.
Something new for him.
It came across.
Loud and clear.
We got you.
We got you.
The things we've been talking about, like the bike runs that we weren't allowed to do.
Right.
The cruise, man. I mean, come on. There were a million things that were just
the sex trip to the Philippines. There's so much to do here.
Right.
But Joe, I was just telling those guys that I think Anthony is the one with the interesting brand to move forward, particularly with all the press that he just got.
Right.
Who wouldn't be interested
There's
in
a
the
lot
next
of
move?
there's a lot of interest in his brand as a solo right now.
It's going to be fun. That's for sure. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right, Joe.
Listen, guys, man. Obviously, I feel like shit about the whole thing happening the way it did. But you guys will do fine. So will Anthony. Everyone's going to come out of this thing okay.
I mean, if the fans want to do it, whatever, they're going to do what they want. But this is not a me versus he fucking situation.
No, not at all. Not at all.
In the end, I have an amazing life because I met Anthony 20 years ago. Period. Of course.
I have a good life because you met Anthony 20 years ago.
We all do. Everybody but Sam.
Of course.
All right, guys. I will. I'll see you guys soon.
All right, Joe. Thanks for the call.
Thanks, brother.
Be well, man. See
Bye,
you around.
buddy.
Brother Joe.